Hello, everyone. This is Deborah Deras, and you are here on Deb TV, dynamic, empowered, and bold. Yes, we are. We're here for another episode of Transformational Tuesday. I am your host, where I am bringing to you amazing guests to help you transform in the areas of career, business, health, and relationships. And today we have someone very, very special because she is my coach, my mentor, and one of my greatest inspirations to take my periscoping to another level. That's right, we have the beautiful, the gorgeous, the intelligent Miss Danielle Ford.
Wow, I need you around me all the time to give that introduction. That was pretty good.
Of course. Of course, and that's not all. Wait till I read your bio. No, I sincerely mean every word of it. I am so grateful. Ever since I first saw you and everything that you were teaching, I said, I need to bring this woman to the world because what you're teaching and the way you're teaching it, I get it, girl. I finally get it. I can't tell you, so many of these abstract concepts of branding and SEO and lead pages, you broke it down so simply that I finally get it. So I am so grateful that all of you are going to get it too. So let me formally introduce this amazing woman that is Danielle Ford, a Las Vegas native, is a creative marketing strategist and thought leader. She was recently named a 2015 Woman to Watch. She is honoree by Vegas Inc. magazine. She helps world-changing individuals and companies to create marketing funnels and expand their influence online. Danielle's passion in helping teen mothers better their lives and the lives of their children. She is the founder of YoungMomsClub.com, a resource for young moms to learn valuable life skills and they oftentimes miss out on while they're only focused on raising a baby. You can hear more about Danielle's mission in her TEDx Woman Talk, Reinventing Teen Motherhood. Woo! You're a TEDx speaker? I did not know that. Come on.
Yeah.
So I really want everyone to get to know you before we get into the nitty-gritty fun stuff, technology and social media marketing, but really the woman that makes you who you are. Can you just talk a little bit about your story, Danielle?
Yeah, where to start? I'll make it kind of the condensed version. I was a teen mother. I got pregnant at 17 and did kind of what is expected when you become a teen mom. Get married, that's how you fix everything. Get married. I became an Army wife, and I had a second baby when I was 20. And then I found myself in a abusive, physically and mentally abusive relationship a couple states away in Colorado. And long story short with that, I ended up, after a couple years of crazy drama, leaving him with no money and no goals or anything like that. Came back to Vegas, started working at spas. I had gone to beauty school when I was 17. So I got my aesthetic license when I was 18, and I started building my clientele. I then, when I was 23, I opened up a skincare business here in Las Vegas and started getting employees and populating that. And while I was busy growing that business, that's when I started studying marketing, and I learned about how online marketing works. So I started using video marketing to reach clients and sell my products and services. And then I realized the potential that the online world had, and that's when I decided to shut my business down, and I jumped into learning everything I could about marketing. So this was now just about 5 years ago. Learning everything I could about marketing and tech stuff and WordPress and Photoshop and videography and SEO and blogging and all of it, and started piecing it together. And then I wanted to do something, for the world. And so I started thinking about what I would have wanted when I was in that situation, when I was a teen mom. And what I would have wanted was understanding in a community to learn the kind of the life skills that I was learning at that time when I was 24. You know, a lot of girls start to learn when they're 18 or 19, but when you're a teen mom, you are just so focused on, you know, your parents are mad at you, and how are you going to pay the bills, and buying diapers and things like that. So I decided to start Young Moms Club and help teen moms hit their goals younger and take care of themselves and teach them how to do the same things you do with the law of attraction, you know, and vision boarding and communication skills and financial literacy and things like that. So that, you know, I've really focused hard on that for a couple years, and I grew it to, the community is now over 20,000 young moms internationally.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where I became a TED speaker. So on the topic of reinventing teen motherhood, and that TED Talk, you can just you can go to danielleford.com/speaking, or you can just search on YouTube for Danielle Ford TED Talk, and that is basically around the concept that people prejudge young moms, and they see them as like, oh, that poor girl just ruined her life. But I see it as, wow, that girl's 16 and a mom. If she can get past this, you know, we can give her support, she's going to be a badass. So that's where my TED Talk comes from, and the ways that we can help impact future generations, you know, the moms themselves and the children that they're raising, by giving support rather than criticism and judgment. And so through Young Moms Club, I started getting people asking me, like, how are you doing your videos, and how are you doing all these things? And that's when I kind of decided to do it as a business, to help people who wanted to have organizations like Young Moms Club, or that were helping people or any way in the world, you know, help them with their online marketing. So about 4 years ago, I started doing that full time for my business, teaching people specifically video marketing, because that was my greatest resource in growing Young Moms Club, was YouTube and video marketing funnels. So specifically video marketing, but any type of social media and online marketing. Yeah, so that's kind of what I do now, and I love that. I like having an impact, and I love knowing that by me helping somebody else grow a business that helps the world, you know, I'm part of that. So not just with my Young Moms Club, but in a bunch of different ways.
Oh my goodness, I have like 25,000 questions for you based on that. But I just want to say that, you know, within 2 weeks of working with Danielle, I had 2 ebooks and a marketing funnel completely done. So I am true. She's not just saying this is what I kind of do and this is what I do. No, no, no. She does it, and she did it with me. I'm still telling people, I'm like, I can't believe it's possible that I actually did that. I mean, it totally blows my mind. So I am just like astounded by how easy you made it happen. But before we even start talking about social media, because I'm just fascinated by how you taught yourself WordPress and SEO, because I know myself in studying it, it's easy, but it's not that easy. It really takes a lot of details and a lot of steps. But before that, let's talk about, because I think one of the reasons that a lot of people look up to you is because of the strength that you have from the struggles you've overcame. And maybe there are people that are listening that maybe have been in an abusive relationship, and maybe their self-esteem has been low. What advice do you have for them to have the tenacity and the strength to be able to get out of that vicious cycle?
You know, I don't know. I honestly, I think the reason why I was able to get out of it was because it got so bad. Like, I'm really grateful that it got as bad as it did, because if it hadn't, I would have made excuses and like stayed with my husband. You know, it got to the point, like, I tried really hard to make our marriage work, even through the abuse and just everything, because that's what you do. You work on it and you go to marriage counseling, and like, I didn't have anywhere else to go, and I had no like roadmap ahead of me or anything. And if it had been even a little bit easier, I probably would have just stayed for the sake of the kids, you know. Right. So honestly, I think people want to, you know, complain when their situation gets really bad. But to me, that's a sign that you need to fix it. You don't have any other choices, you know. So so I don't know. All I know is, like, I tell young moms now, and they have no idea how to get out of a situation they're in, whether it's similar to that or something else. It's like, you don't know at the time how it's going to work, you know. It doesn't seem possible, but then when you get past it and you look back on it, it's almost like, oh, that was kind of easy. You know, it makes sense in
Mm,
hindsight.
right.
But there's no way to predict like what's going to happen. You just have to take that leap of faith and put yourself out there and be ready for new opportunities and new experiences. And that's when when it hurts and when it sucks, that's when you get stronger because you have no other choice. So I think putting yourself out there when you have no choice is just kind of the key to it.
Yeah, my mother was in a very, very abusive relationship, like verbally abusive, and she had watched this movie with Tina Turner on when she was getting rid of Ike Turner, and she had done Yam Yoho Renge Kyo, this like meditation chant. So my mom did that, and then she got the strength to finally leave after like 11 years of abuse. She was just like,
Wow.
yeah, and thank God she did because my baby brother, who is now 24 and who is a single father, he didn't speak until my stepfather left because he was that traumatized. So I just think it's
Wow.
really, really incredible. And, the fact that you were a teen mother and the fact that you dealt with that abuse, but you're right, it's perspective. Because in life, you could look at that challenge and say, oh, I'm a victim of circumstance and I'm a victim of everything in life. Instead of saying, because I've been through so much, I'm stronger than ever. And this little SEO is nothing. I can figure this out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Work for us, no
Exactly.
problem. So it's just,
Yeah.
and that you help so many young people to be powerhouse. Isn't there a nonprofit philanthropic arm of it as well? So is it a nonprofit organization, young moms?
No, it's not. And I have dabbled with the idea of making it a nonprofit, but when I think to how I want my life to run and the reason why I do online marketing is I just like simplicity,
Yes.
and I just don't want to deal with a nonprofit to tell you the truth. So
Yes.
I mean, Young Moms Club brings in money, but it's all from online. It's from ads and sponsors and things like that. And I would bring in a lot more money if it was nonprofit, which is
Right.
ironic, you
Right.
know. Um, but I call it like a for passion or for purpose. It isn't my it isn't my end goal of like how to make money, but it's definitely not. I don't like balance how much money I make from it to how much work I do for it or anything like that. It's my passion.
It's like your service and your contribution to the world because you don't have
Yeah.
to do that, but it's something that fuels you and allows you to give back. So let's talk
Mhm.
about your transition from YouTube and internet marketing and how you got into Periscope. But let's first start in how you help small business with YouTube and what's the power of video marketing for people that don't know.
Well, when I started with helping other people with YouTube, I actually created a whole other side business called Socialites Video
Oh,
because then I kind of had the goal of expanding it and grow and hiring some other videography people and editors and things like that. So I put all of my video stuff over there, and it's still over there, but I'm in the process of merging it all into my DanielleFord.com right now because what I was doing was actually filming video for small businesses and entrepreneurs, and then outsourcing the editing and delivering them their product. But again, not what I want to do, you know.
yes.
So I haven't done that in a couple years. The website still exists, and all of my digital products and programs are over there. But that's what I was doing at first, and I had some packages where you could get 12 YouTube videos, and I'd work with you on your scripts, and we would film them and knock them out, or funnel videos, for your lead magnets, and then for your products, there's some product videos, about videos, things like that. So I offered those kind of things, and now instead of doing it, it got hard. The reason why I quit my skincare business was to be able to be present with my children, and
Mm.
I work at their school a couple days a week, and I volunteer for everything that comes up, and I pick them up from school every day and take them to school, and so I just didn't want to have to be running around town and focused on clients and things like that. So I transitioned into just teaching people how to do it and coaching them through it. So sometimes we'll do like live coaching where we'll be on a Google Hangout and they'll be filming their videos and I'll say stop, 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 But that's the extent of the actual doing it. So what I did was I put together two programs. One was a full, intense, everything you need to know about video marketing and YouTube. and then a smaller condensed version of video in a day course. So if somebody just wants to get a video done without doing everything with SEO and marketing and really high-end cameras and things like that, and green screen, they could just do that program. So I was really focused on video, and then when I saw that that Periscope came around, I honestly at first I thought, oh wow, this is like where my target market is going to be, because Periscope is so easy to use that anybody using Periscope and getting comfortable on video will then be easy to kind of transition over to YouTube. So I started on Periscope teaching video marketing. I still do a lot of that, but teaching only video marketing, a lot of YouTube stuff, and then promoting my my free video courses and my programs over there. But then I started to really see the power of Periscope as its own platform, and then that's where I kind of switched over to incorporating Periscope as video in general. To me, I think Google Hangout and webinars are video, and Periscope is video, and Facebook ad videos. It's all under the same umbrella, So I just incorporated Periscope into my arsenal of tools rather than using it as a tool to convert clients over to YouTube trainings.
And so I know you and I can't believe this, but for people who have no idea what Periscope is, can you let them know what it is? Those aliens?
Yeah, I know. I still can't. Like, I'm so into Periscope that I forget that people are like, what's Periscope? Periscope is Twitter's new live streaming platform, and it is basically, I say it's like if Twitter and YouTube had a baby, it would be Periscope. It's real-time conversation, but it's video-based, and you can have the same type of comments and things that you would have on YouTube, but instead of it being a delayed response, it's happening right then. So it's just it's a new form of communication, and it's a fantastic way for businesses and brands to create those authentic relationships with people, because you can't fake it. There's no edit button on Periscope. There's no delayed thought process of what you're going to type out like you would like a social media platform or something. So to me, Periscope is just so raw and real that it creates those connections faster and is able to build your authority online like super fast.
And I absolutely love what you said at the conference. Can you say that quote that you said?
Yeah, if anyone doesn't know, I hosted Perry Vegas a few days ago here in Las Vegas, and that was fantastic, even though I don't consider myself really an event specialist or anything like that. It was kind of an impulsive thing that we did. But somebody asked about Periscope, and as it relates to social media platforms, a lot of people say, another social media platform, I'm just figuring out Instagram, or I've put so much money into Facebook and it hasn't worked. And to me, Periscope isn't another social media platform at all. To me, you can't compare it to any social media platform that we have out there. The only thing we can compare it to is, to me, the closest thing that we can compare it to is when radio came out. Because radio was the first time that we had, it was one broadcaster with the potential reach of hundreds and thousands of viewers, and then they could call in and have that one-on-one conversation, But to me, it's just a new way of communicating, and it's not an and or thing. It's not like, should I do Instagram or Periscope or Pinterest or Periscope? It all links together, and it's not even a competition against any other social media network at all.
And just recently, this social media conference that I went to, where Kathy Hackle and Kim Garst and Mari Smith were speaking, everybody was talking about the impact of Periscope, and that it's like going from, listening to the radio to watching TV in color. It's just
right.
Like, wow, you mean I get to interact with Danielle Ford? I get to ask her questions and she'll answer me? Because I remember when I first was introduced to you, I don't even know how. It must have been your amazing marketing, but somehow I was on your website, and then I was on your YouTube. And then when Periscope came up, I was like, wow. And I met you in New York at the Periscope Community Summit at the opening party. I was like, oh my God, this is what the heck? You're like my social media rock star. I was like, wow. And so I think that once brands understand the impact, because millennials don't believe what advertisers say. You know, studies show
No.
that they're not going to buy something because Lexus says you should buy it. But if somebody else, an influencer or a regular person like you, says, you know what, I have a Lexus and I love it, then they're going to believe it. Or you're doing your car scopes from your Lexus, and they'll be like, you know what, this looks good.
That's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct. And then, I mean, that's probably the biggest value that we're going to see with Periscope is, you know, brands having brand ambassadors just like they do with YouTube. I'll tell you what, with my YouTube channel, I've had a lot of people approach me to sponsor a show or series or several shows, and I turn them down because I don't want a product in my YouTube video that's going to live there forever. Maybe in 4 years I don't like that product, you know, or to me that's a piece of content that I've spent a lot of money, time, and energy to create. And my YouTube video is purely meant to educate, connect, and then build my email list. And I'm not going to throw in something else like an advertising product. But a Periscope, hell yeah, you can give me some money, and if I like your product, I'll promote it, you know, show it, whatever. Because to me, it's going to be gone in a couple days, and it's not going to live there for 4 years and represent my brand 4 years later, because it's so real time, and it's what I'm feeling right now in this moment. And that's exactly where advertisers are going to have to put their money, is in people who are live streaming and who have a large targeted fan base and are able to represent their product and speak about it well. So there's a huge potential for that. You know, we're going to see it really shortly popping up everywhere.
And it's so funny because I Periscope outside in public, kind of really close to the YouTube studios here in Los Angeles in Silicon Beach. And this one guy that was doing the construction, they're building the new Google studios, right, where I do my scoping. And he was one of the construction workers. And he comes over to me, he's like, are you blogging? I'm like, kind of. He's like, can I come in your blog? I'm like, yeah, you can come in my blog. But I really see, for those people that are influencers and have been blogging, where Periscope is a new way and a new means for them to have, you know, influencer outlet, to be, like you said, the brand ambassadors, the spokesperson. Like, it's so much easier and so much more profound to be able to say something on a video rather than to write something on a blog.
You're absolutely right. I mean, that's kind of like the way that it changes. I mean, video kind of took over that blogging. People still do paid blogs and stuff, but it's just not as effective when you can see like a YouTube video about somebody using it. And then now Periscope is going to take over the YouTube video. So it's much more. I mean, you can charge people a lot more for a YouTube video showcase than a blog spotlight, and you're going to be able to charge a lot for a Periscope video because it's so real and it's so impactful, like you were saying, to be able to just like really show it. I mean, in a YouTube video, if I was, and you know, I take a bite of it and I hate it, I could be like, okay, wait, let me try again.
Right.
You know, with Periscope, there's none of that. So they're really gonna, if I say, gross, no one's gonna buy it, and if I say that's delicious, they're gonna go there, buy it, or go to the restaurant or wherever we're doing it, because they can tell that it's. I didn't fake it. I didn't just write out, oh, and this was the best food I ever had in my life, like on a blog post. You know, they actually saw my reaction to it that is totally unable to be faked.
Ah, that's so true, because it could be contrived in a blog or in a YouTube video. But Periscope is like, yum, Starbucks, I love you. I love you so much, right? So just note to all brand ambassadors, Danielle Ford is available for the proper brand at the proper price.
Exactly.
I'm an agent. Give me a call. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. I'm a manager.
You like that? What advice do you have for small businesses in a YouTube strategy versus a Periscope strategy?
Well, a YouTube strategy, I love YouTube. I still love YouTube, even though I see Periscope as its own thing. It is no way YouTube's competitor. It's two different things, you know. So a YouTube strategy would be clearly around answering questions and delivering content around what that target market is searching in Google. because YouTube is owned by Google, and you can rank YouTube videos to the top of Google, and you can rank YouTube videos in YouTube itself and show up on other related videos. So to me, a small business needs to be using YouTube as a way to build authority on Google. And then they need to use Periscope as a way to connect with their customers and the audience one-on-one and build those relationships. So they're two completely different things, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just because you have a website doesn't mean you're going to stop getting return business through, a campaigns like that. So it's not an either or. We're not. She's not saying you either do YouTube or you do Periscope. But for me, the impact of Periscope, I mean, just my Instagram was like just not even growing, not even growing. I got on Periscope, and just this weekend I hit 3,007 on Instagram, and that's all because so people think that Periscope is more work, but actually it's going to grow all of your other platforms simultaneously if you repurpose your videos correctly.
Well, yes, and then one of the things that I always tell my clients, it's like a plane or something flying by, weird sound, I tell my clients to always keep in mind is like what's the goal right now, and sometimes your goal can change, but it might not be that your goal has changed, but we're working on a different campaign. Mm-hmm. So maybe we're working on a Instagram campaign where the goal is to build your Instagram following, even though your Instagram following isn't your end goal. Your end goal is like, your lead magnet and then sales, obviously, and clients. But maybe for the next several weeks, we're working on an Instagram campaign. And then that's when we'll use Periscope, YouTube, Facebook ads, everything, to grow your Instagram following. And we'll be doing a lot of strategic things inside of the Instagram app to connect with people and things like that. But Periscope, I mean, I've been, like, a lot of things I do with Periscope, I always say, like, don't necessarily copy me because I'm doing a lot of testing. So I have used Periscope to build Instagram, and I've told people, like, I did a contest, come over, and I show them my Instagram, and look at this picture right here. Everybody who goes and likes it and shares it is going to be entered into the contest or whatever. It's just to see the kind of growth you can have. I've done that with Facebook. I've done it with Twitter. I've done it with, YouTube and all sorts of stuff. I've tested, like, just playing videos. Look, I found this inspirational video, and I shared it on my Facebook fan page. Then I show my fan page, and play the video from my fan page, and I don't even tell people to like the page, and all of a sudden I have 20 more likes on my fan page. So, and then that is good content for my Periscope because it's a really inspirational, awesome video that I really was moved by. But it's just, there's so many different ways. But if you're doing all of it, if you don't have a strategy, you're just going to be, like, super random, But if your goal is to grow your Facebook fan page, then Periscope is a great tool for that. If your goal is to get more YouTube subscribers, same thing. Email subscribers, whatever your goal is, or a smaller campaign, Periscope can definitely be tweaked around that goal.
And one of the things that I love about what you have taught me and what I keep hearing you say is the clarity that you have about your niche. You know who's for you and you know who's not for you, and you're not scared to say no. And this is something that I try to reinforce to my clients, that maybe if they hear it from you, they'll believe me, because you're not going to say yes to a brand that you don't believe in. You're not going to say yes to a client just because they have the money that you're not happy to work with. And because of that, you're able to grow. Can you talk a little bit about the niche and grow rich philosophy so people can really get it?
Totally. Well, and personally, it's one of those things when you hire a coach, a lot of people are like, well, how much money or how many clients do you have? Mm-hmm. And to me, it's not about the number of clients. It's about the quality of clients and the people that I want to work with. And for me, Periscope has given me the ability to choose my clients, I don't work with a ton of people because I don't want to. Like I said, I work a lot on my Young Moms Club, and I'm with my kids, and we spend a lot of time just chilling and doing fun things. I'm not about, like, I need another client, more clients, more money, yada yada. I'm not about that, which is another reason why I like digital products and programs. But I really do love working with people one-on-one, especially if I believe in what they're doing. And you're absolutely right that, to me, I'm not going to spend my life working on companies that I don't care about because it's going to suck my energy out. Even when I didn't have all the clients I wanted, and I get a proposal from a client that doesn't feel like a good fit, I turn them down. You know, to me, it's more important to work with people that I can put my energy into and know for sure that they're going to have a good result, and somebody that understands what I'm saying. Some people want to hire me and they just expect things that aren't going to happen, because a lot of online marketers will tell you, oh, in a month you can be making $10,000, you know, on this one new thing, where it's like, no, you can start to, or we could build a program that, you know, you start to get leads for, and then you convert them into sales or whatever. But I turn people down a lot who fall into that category of wanting it to be really easy. I only work with people who know that it takes work to put in, you know. And I only work with people who want to learn it themselves, or, you know, teach somebody who to do it. I don't want to work with somebody who doesn't really care about the product and wants to pass it off to like an employee.
Yeah, I think a lot of, I myself was personally burnt out from a lot of unrealistic expectations from different conferences I would go to, and you're going to make 6 figures after this weekend, and it's like, where's my 6 figures? And I literally had to take a break from all of my, because I had spent so many thousands of dollars on things that didn't work. And yes, the philosophy did work, but there was missing so many of the steps along the way to make it happen. And then social media changes so much that you really have to keep up with it. That's why I think it's good to have these continuity programs where, you know, you're constantly updating us on what's going on next and what's the next thing. Can you talk a little bit about your 5-day Periscope program? Because I think a lot of people are scared to get on Periscope. They're on it, but they're not broadcasting because they don't know what to do. So if somebody is a small business owner, or if they just want to have a side thing where they're getting, you know, money in through, you know, passive income, how could they get started with like your 5-day program?
Yeah, so the 5-day challenge is awesome for that exact reason. People, the number one thing that I found people were asking is like, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to scope about. So I tell people in the challenge videos to think about who their ideal target market is, not necessarily who they're getting hired by right now, or who they're working with, but who they want to work with, and create content around that person so that you can target to them and attract them. So the 5-day challenge helps you figure out exactly who you want in your following, who you want in your audience on Periscope, and then it walks you through 5 days, 2 scopes a day, and exactly what to do to create content around that targeted follower, and it gets your scope and your title in front of them, and then teaches you how to turn them into a follower, which will then later turn them into a lead, which will hopefully later turn them into a client. So yeah, so the challenge, you can go to danielleford.com/5day, and it will, as soon as you sign up, you get a welcome email with some free Periscope trainings and access into our private Facebook group that's really supportive of new scopers or older scopers who just want to get more like on track with periscoping. And then for the next 5 days, it'll send you a video a day walking you through exactly what you scope about. And so there's a bunch of different types of scopes that we do, and I tell you exactly how to execute it and what the psychology behind it, you know, the reason behind it. And it's a great way to get started and find different ways to scope, and it also shows you like what kind of scopes you're best at and your audience likes. So then by that time, hopefully the person is able to kind of, you know, fly off on their own without me coaching them anymore. So yeah, the challenge has been fantastic, and I've had tons of positive feedback, and it's just a great way to get started on Periscope.
And if you look at Danielle Ford's title on her bar, it says Video Marketing Strategist. So one of the key things and why I highly recommend this program is you could just jump on Periscope beyond, have thousands of people liking you, have 100,000 hearts, and have no sales. If you have no strategy, because likes and love do not pay your rent, people.
No, absolutely not.
That's what I know, and that's why I hired Danielle. And, you know, and she's giving you this program. This program, there's no cost for it. So I highly, highly recommend that you, even if you have a little bit of inkling of getting into the world of live streaming. That Periscope is, in the next few months, I know, more than ever going to be prolific, that major brands are going to start using it, and you're going to see it really impact the way that we communicate. Just like how we see Twitter during Super Bowl, right? We're going to start seeing things being scoped, like people were scoping after the horrific events in Paris. People were scoping from the streets. And for me, I don't even have CNN for some crazy reason on my TV, but to be able to like see people that were actually there giving unbiased, non-agenda account of what was going on, it really, to me, was helpful to stay tuned into what's happening in the world. So
and really not to be like tricked by the media and only showing what they want us to see. Yeah.
Exactly, with their agenda and political influences. Absolutely. Yeah, I can't wait till more politicians are on Periscope. When we were in New York, remember the Pope was there, and I saw the White House on Periscope streaming the Pope coming to town. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That is so cool,
crazy.
Danielle. It is crazy.
Well, you know, it's like you just said, like, nowadays Twitter is all over the Super Bowl, but man, when did Twitter even get started? 2004, 2006? It's been a long time. It's taken a long time for even Twitter to get acknowledged for what it is. Mm-hmm. And Periscope is still so new that if anyone's even on here or even knows what it is, they're such early adapters that it's ridiculous. I mean, the people who come onto Periscope for the next 6 to 12 months are still going to be considered early adapters, and you might see somebody with 100,000 followers or millions of hearts. That's really nothing in the scheme of things, because as more people come onto the platform, the way that things just compound, those heart numbers are going to blow up. It's going to be like 100 million and 200 million and billions. It's gonna increase crazily. And so if anybody goes on Periscope and thinks that they're behind, because come on, I mean, in Periscope there's the top scopers and the people who are teaching Periscope. There's so much of like, well, I have 4 million hearts and this person only has 2 million hearts, and in retrospect it means nothing. Like, they all are the same. Like, we're all on the same level because of where it's going to be in another year. So I see a lot of people feeling intimidated by people saying, well, there's already 3 people in my industry who have like all these followers and all these hearts. It's like, no, that means nothing. There's such room for you. It's ridiculous in whatever industry you're in, and it's all going to equal out, especially as more. If Taylor Swift got on Periscope, it'd be all over with. If Kim Kardashian, any of them, it would bring tens of millions of people, and then that heart count would just change. Everybody's would change.
Oh, that's true.
People on.
The curve would be thrown off completely.
Exactly.
It's like, you don't have a billion hearts, you're nothing. And this is what I tell people. It's like, you have a unique talent, skill, and ability. The way you, Danielle Ford, explain Periscope is different than the way another person explains Periscope. Doesn't mean one person is better. There's just different styles for different audiences. And some people may get it easier from you, and some people not. So I think that everybody, it's not about who's on there that's your competitor. It's to put yourself into the game. You can't get ahead if you're sitting on the sidelines. You have to be a participant in your own life, not a spectator. And one of the things, I know we're running out of time, but one more thing that I absolutely think is so important that you talk about, that I really was the first time able to get, lead generation and the importance of building a list. We all hear in internet marketing, all of us internet geeks, the money's in the list, the money's in the list. But can you talk about what is the list? What is this list? And why is it so important that people are creating their own email database, and not just on Outlook and not just on Excel, but to have like a actual list?
Yeah, the list is your email list, and the number one reason why it's important is because you own it. You own your email list. You should be doing regular exports, because you don't own your email list software. Your email list software could be gone tomorrow.
Ooh, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
You're right.
So
Okay.
like monthly at the minimum exports, because once you export your emails, and those are yours. You could get another email provider and upload all of those emails, and it's a way to stay in communication with your potential market. I could have, I have like over 8,000 followers on Periscope, and tomorrow Periscope could shut down, and I have no way of talking to those people. Same thing with Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Your followers are nothing if you don't have their email list. You have no way of communicating with them. You don't own that platform. Um, it's like paying for a house on rented land. It's insane to put all your money into your social media platforms.
Ooh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's silly. What happened to me is this was in August. I had over 1 million hearts, and I had like 4,000 followers, and I went to a Taylor Swift concert, and I planned it out in advance. I told my whole audience, I was like, tune in to me on Saturday night. I was like, I'm going to get 1 million more hearts while I scope this Taylor Swift concert. And we had 6th row seats, and about a minute into me scoping, my account was disabled and suspended.
Oh my God.
So yeah, so I had like 4,000 followers, 1 million hearts, my account disabled. I posted in the challenge group. I was like, don't be looking for any scopes. My account's gone. Started emailing
And you never
Periscope.
got it back?
I did get it back, thankfully. But I'll tell you what, I wasn't as freaked out about it as I would have been if I hadn't been building my email list through Periscope from day one.
Right.
I mean, some people come and they look at my scope and they're like, okay, but you're mostly building your list now with Periscope trainings. Like, okay, yeah, because I've added it into my thing. But when I jumped on Periscope, that wasn't the case. I was building it through my other freebies, my marketing trainings and my free social media trainings and my free video marketing course and things like that. So I had already gotten people onto my email list through those. And now through, all of my free Periscope trainings, I'm building that list.
Mm-hmm.
But I had at least, over half of my followers on my email list at that time. So I knew I could shoot an email out to that list and say, my account got disabled. I just created this new account. Everyone come follow me. And I'm going to do like 10 scopes. Come give me a bunch of hearts so I can build it back up, I wasn't like as freaked out about it as I would have been had I not been building my email list. So the money is in the email list for sure.
And for those of you, because I know there's some people that are newer than others that don't know what she means about building your list, when she's on Periscope, Danielle Ford is saying, well, go to my website, Danielle Ford / 5-day challenge, whatever. And then people to get into the challenge are putting their name and email, and then they're on a list. And then when they're on her email list, whether it's Aweber, Constant Contact, or MailChimp, whoever you use, then she can send emails out inviting you to this, inviting you to that, because you've subscribed to the list. So it's so important. I was in Twitter jail for one time. I don't even know what I did. And I never got that account back. And then at one time, the social media, I had built up my Facebook to 5,000, which I'm almost doing again, and somebody said, just convert it to a fan page. And when I converted it to a fan page, I lost the ability to see all my friends that I had just built relationships, my high school friends, my elementary school friends, and then I never got that back. Because once it became a fan page, they could see me and I couldn't see them. So I have really learned the hard way that, when you're doing business online or offline, it's about relationships and it's about connection. And if you don't have a way to connect with your people, if that's not in your control, then you really don't have anything, and you're starting from scratch, and that's not strategy. That's just flying by the seat of your pants, and you're always going to be in struggle mode. So following Danielle Ford's video tips, her list building tips, her Periscope building tips has really helped me, and I know will help you. So how can they stay in connection with you to get more?
There's lots of ways. I suggest going on to danielleford.com, and you'll see on the main site some marketing trainings I have. They can sign up for free marketing trainings. They can click on Periscope and join the challenge. They can go to the contact form and shoot me an email that'll get sent directly to me. Follow me on Twitter. All my handles are Danielle Ford LV, like Las Vegas. So I'm really good at responding to people on all social media platforms and through email. So if anybody wants to reach out at all, I'm happy to chat.
So Danielle Ford LV, and I'm going to put all of your contact information in the comments on YouTube. I remember when I first saw you on my scope, I thought it was imposter. I'm like, this can't be Danielle Ford. I wasn't even commenting because I thought it was a faker. And I was like, oh, I'm not even going to talk to that girl. I don't know who that is. Where's my Danielle? And it was you. I was like, oh my God.
thought you were joking when you were like, was that you or an imposter? I was like, ha ha ha, and you're like, no, really, was that you? I was like, of course it was me.
Because people, like, when they, like, I saw people make fake profiles for other people, you know, that they
I've had people
want.
do that, yeah.
It's so rude, so rude. But, you know, it's flattery. They want to be like you when they grow up, so whatever.
Right.
Yeah. And one of the things I love about your scopes, you know, seeing you and your kids or seeing you having drinks, you know, it's like, it's a real, I'm like, you're my kind of people, you know, it's like, you're not just one thing and here we are always working. No,
Yeah.
one of the things that why Danielle and I are on the same page, it's, you know, the old model is the just over broke model job where you work and you exchange time for money and you're in the rat race. The model we are at is creating valuable content, valuable information, both active and passive and residual online programs so that we can have a life. That's what we're
Yes.
People are like, do you work or are you always out partying? I'm like, my work
is a little bit of both.
Yeah. Party. Like we're on yacht cruises in New York or whatever, or at all these parties. It's like, you know what? That's part of the program. And everybody can create that. But what, just to summarize what you were saying, it's just you have to be very, very clear who is your market and who is not. That when you say no to what is not, you're saying yes to the opportunities that you really can focus and niche and grow rich, and that there are strategies, and that YouTube, Periscope, anything that's video has the great power to be able to impact your potential customers and clients, but you have to do it strategically, which is why you need a strategist.
Exactly. I always ultimately, you know, just like you were saying, my business serves my life. My life doesn't serve my business. So, you know, I tell my clients the same thing. It's like some people love working all day long, and they're just like money, money, money. I'm like, cool, let's make that happen for you. Some people want to be home with their kids. Some people want to have several businesses. They want to work for a nonprofit. They want to volunteer. Whatever your goal is, you can create an online business around that. You know, it's just you have to be really clear on who you serve, and you have to be giving a lot of value, and you have to be building your email list so you can keep in contact with those people organically.
Build your list, build your list.
Build your
list. One thing from this interview, listen to Danielle, build your list and save your list to your computer, because the key thing is ownership. You don't want to pay rent on something that somebody else owns. You need to own it. Yes, so I want to thank you so much. Oh my goodness, we need to have you back.
Thank you. Yeah, anytime. This was great.
I know, right? I cannot wait to share this. So don't forget, you can follow Danielle Ford on all of her social media platforms, Danielle Ford LV. I'm going to have all of the information below. And if you have any questions, just write them in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to get you the answers back for them. And I am here every single week, and guess what? I have a new product thanks to Danielle.
Yeah, you do.
So now I can introduce you. So if you want to go to deborahderas.com/score, you'll be able to see the ebook that Danielle coached me on how to produce, and how you're going to be able to see everything that she taught me in action. deborahderas.com/score. Yeah, I'm so proud. And the first time you saw the pictures from my first speaking engagement, and I have clients coming to me right and left from that. So I'm looking forward to serving even more people thanks to your help and support and coaching guidance. So I want to, yay, with the power of synergy, anything is possible. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Make sure that you share this video with your friends. We believe sharing is caring. Right? Share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, wherever your people are. And then remember to subscribe, so that every single week when we have amazing guests like Danielle, and when Danielle comes back, you'll be notified to be able to get that video right to your door. My name is Deborah Deras, and I am a speaker, author, and marketing consultant, and your host here on Transformational Tuesday on Deb TV, where you are dynamic, empowered, and bold. So I want to wish you all a magnificent day, and remember, with the power of synergy, anything is possible. Thank you, Danielle. Let's all give her hearts.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Tap the screen. Just kidding.
Hearts, tap the screen. Oh, sorry, wrong platform. Okay. Bye. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Bye.